Hello everyone, Mike here, and before I get started, in case you missed it in the title, I will be talking spoilers for the most recent chapter of My Hero Academia 322, so if you are an anime-only person or you just haven't read the chapter, do not watch this. I am going to be getting into what happens in this chapter. Now, I'm trying to decide if I want to discuss the chapter itself or just the really big thing. And I think I'm going to discuss specifically the really big thing, and that's Bakugo. Now, I have never been a fan of Bakugo. A lot of people, when I tell them I don't like him, they're like, oh, well, he's had all this development and such. And yes, he has. He has grown a huge amount. And I do find him entertaining. And some of the fights, he can be really cool. But I never liked the character. Because even though he has grown, there is something that he hadn't done that I really feel was necessary. And that is apologizing to Deku. Because, let's face it, throughout the entire series from the beginning, he was horrible to Midoriya. I mean, at one point, he even straight up suggested that Midoriya should kill himself. Admittedly, Horikoshi said that he actually regrets putting that in there. But regardless, even discounting that, Bakugo has been horrible to Midoriya. And yes, he's had character growth, but to me, growing as a person doesn't mean a lot if you don't atone for your actions. Similar to Endeavor and what he's trying to do. But I just have never been able to like Bakugo because I felt that he had done too many horrible things to Deku, and the only way I could really accept him would be for Bakugo to apologize. Which I didn't think he'd ever do, because it doesn't really fit into his character. Then we got to this chapter. Of course, everybody's trying to stop Deku from going off on his own. Deku actually got a little on my nerves throughout these past few chapters because I get that he wants to protect his friends, but he is basically telling them that they can't be heroes, only he can. He has to protect all of them. They're not allowed to fight for themselves, which obviously he's not literally saying this, but the idea as I'm reading it is that he feels he alone can fight and has to protect them, which irritates me a lot because he knows how it is to be able to fight for your dreams when everyone tells you you can't. And now he's doing that same thing to them. Anyway, I digress a little bit. The class is trying to convince him to come back to them, and he's weakening physically mostly, but also a little bit emotionally. And everyone's trying to do whatever they can to convince him. And finally, Bakugo steps forward. And in front of everybody, the entire class, he basically bears his soul about how even though he had a very powerful quirk and Deku had nothing when they were little, something in him always made him feel that Deku was above him. And he hated that, which is why he constantly lashed out, was always belittling Deku, treating him horribly. It was, as a lot of people kind of figured, it was because he felt below Deku and didn't like it. But at this point, in front of the entire class, he refers to him as Izuku for the first time in the entire series, bows his head to him, and apologizes for everything he has done. And that is the moment I now like Bakugo. Because, as I said, that's all I wanted. For me to really like that character, I felt that he needed to apologize. Genuinely apologize for the things he'd done. And we finally got that. And it was a very emotional moment. I'll be honest, this is actually the first time I've discussed this, that I haven't started to well up. I'm quite proud of myself. I've talked about this with a couple people, and every time I've talked about it, my eyes have started to water. It was very powerful. And that wasn't even the end of the chapter, but it was just such a major, major event. And it meant so much to me because that's all I've been wanting out of Bakugo, for me to change my feelings on him. And now I have, because he's finally shown true remorse for the way that he's acted and apologized, and that's all I wanted. So, yeah, finally, well, later than pretty much everybody else, I like Bakugo because he's finally growing in the way I feel was necessary. All right, I just wanted to talk a little on that. As I said, there's more to the chapter, but a lot of that is going to lead into the next chapter, which the hardest part is waiting for the next chapter to come out. But that's all I've got on this one. So, until next time, thanks for being part of my Geek World.